Put the threes in the chat if you rocking with Mo3. Let me know where y'all from. After the Mo3 incident, Boosie and Rainwater were very quiet after that. It basically was their guilty conscience kicking in because they knew they was wrong for setting that man up. Mo3 was supposed to be the biggest artist in the whole South and everything till right now. But you got to understand, the greed, the envy, the jealousy got in the way. This is why a lot of people thought that Boosie had something to do with the setup, because Rainwater was basically talking between both of them and middleman in the whole entire thing. Once Boosie got mad that Mo3 wouldn't give up more money on his side of the cut, basically from them doing that whole feature, the whole thing where they had the album together. So once that happened, they got into it because Boosie needed more money. Boosie was running out of funds. He had that whole situation come up to where he had to come up with a lot of money to pay off these things, certain things that he had owed. And so once he went to the dude, he basically asked them to give up a bigger cut, and this is what their whole fallout went into. He called Rainwater and told him, you got to convince Mo3 to go along with the plan. And he told Rainwater that he was basically going to give him a little cut out of that too. And so just like a finder's fee for making Mo3 agree to the thing. So this is where the problem started. Once that happened, they started watching Mo3 closely. And then they started giving Trap Boy Freddy and all the Mo3's ops basically like dropping the low on him and trying to get somebody to do something, because this is what happened. As soon as Mo3 didn't want to follow along with the plan because he felt like he was basically getting used in this situation. He knew that they didn't really care about him. They was just trying to finesse him. And so he stood his ground. He stood his ground and he said, I'm gonna do exactly what I said, and I'm gonna keep doing it on my own. And so basically up at that point, this is when the guys, the shot callers, basically made the decision and said, okay, we're going to have to just go ahead and take Mo3 out. They found the way to set him up. They got the girl in on it and everything. They put the money on him and basically set everybody in position to keep watching him until they knew that they were going to have a day where they would try to get him got. And so, and unfortunately it happened. But once they started solving this thing, you got to realize that the pieces of the puzzle fit together so well. Once they figured out that the same guys that ran up out of that car on the highway was actually friends and knew Rainwater, like these are some of these people was in the back of Boosie's music video. Some of these people was hanging out, and everything is alleged. But at the end of the day, you got to realize that the sources, they know that the people that ran up on Mo3 on the highway, they're known. They're not just nobodies. Like Mo3's ops know them. Trap Boy Freddy used to hang out with these guys, and he's the one that basically sent the play up. Once Boosie basically sent the money to Trap Boy Freddy, and Trap Boy Freddy got everything out the way, this is how it all happened. And it's an unfortunate situation, but we have to look at everything and realize that we have to keep our head on a swivel and not trust a lot of stuff, because Mo3, he was big, he was coming up out of his city, but he needed to have more security with him so that he wouldn't pretty much get done like how they just did. It was a lot of people that was already watching him, and they basically was trying to make it so that he didn't have no security. And so once he left that girl's house, they knew Mo3, they already moved the blick that was in the glove box. You got to remember, Mo3 had the backup keys that was missing, and the only other person that drove his car was basically Rainwater, his manager. And that's why the only other person that would have access to Mo3's car keys, his glove box, and the blicky was Rainwater. And so this is why a lot of people felt like Rainwater was the one that duped them and tricked them and pretty much moved the blicky so that Mo3 wasn't even able to bust back when dudes try to run up on him. This is a sad situation, and everybody has to open their eyes and realize that at the end of the day, not a day is like the next day ain't promised. And so Mo3 should have been more careful and should have had more security with him. But at the same time, he should have had a better manager and better friends, because he basically still had friends and people around him that was trying to set him up and try to take stuff from him and basically make it to where they get something out of it, but it's always at the loss of Mo3 and what he has. And so a lot of people are greedy, and they basically are trying to leech off of the guy coming up. And once Mo3 stood his ground and said, y'all ain't gonna do that to me, this is when they decided to basically take it to the next level and forcibly try to take it from Mo3. And that's why you can't bring everybody with you. You can't keep the same manager, the same friend group. You can't do that on your way up. And sometimes when you get a bag, you got to move out of the hood. You can't be riding around in the same old city no more. You got to go to some and set up shop at a whole new place and make a whole new area and take over that. And so, because, you know, there's always going to be snakes in the grass. There's always going to be people who got left behind, the stragglers, and they always got the plot to come up with how to get you back for leaving them in the dirt, in the dust, man. Boosie was talking to Rainwater about Mo3 the whole entire time while everything was going on. He called Trap Boy Freddy and he told him to fall back because Boosie was really just trying to get the bread back from, like, when they did he did the Future for Mo3. They did that whole thing. But Boosie was trying to spin back around, finesse, and get the bread. And so this is why a lot of people think that Boosie was involved in a lot of stuff. I want to send my condolences to Mo3 family. At the end of the day, y'all got to realize, man, you can't trust nobody. Even if Mo3 was getting, like, coming up and Boosie wanted to jump on the songs with him and everything like that, you still can't trust nobody, because at the end of the day, people are still going to go and do what they want to do, man. Boosie was trying to get a lot of the stuff because he had the situations. Boosie's about to sit down for 5 years, and so this is why a lot of people think that the feds was watching him in the first place, is because everything carried over from the Mo3 case. When they were trying to find out everything about that, a lot of people was putting Boosie name with Rainwater, saying that they was the snakes the whole entire time. The snakes was in the grass, and the grass was high, and you had to cut it low. Mo3, he was doing his thing, making his money and everything, but people was mad and jealous at him because he was coming up quick in his own city and everything like that. He went to Fort Worth and to that girl's house and everything, but whole time the ops had to drop on the location for the girl, and they already gave her the money to pretty much drop the location, drop the info. She was telling them when Mo3 was coming in and out of the house, in and out the house, and basically until they was actually able to follow him, they knew what kind of car he was in. Once they found out what kind of car he was in, all they basically did was wait outside of that girl's apartment until Mo3 came out in the middle of the night. Next thing you know, once he came out and it was about to be early morning and everything, so the sun came up and he started driving on the interstate, and that's when they try to jump up on him, man. One thing you got to realize is that a lot of people got to understand that you could be set up at any given moment, man, especially when people are trying to put money on his head. People are trying to pay the girl to drop the location. They was watching Mo3 for a long time. And so you got to understand, people that are haters, they'll go through a lot of lengths to pretty much try to get you hit up, set up, rob you, steal, whatever it is, because we have to realize that Mo3, he was being targeted because of his money, his status, and the power that he was getting in Texas. Like, one thing you got to understand is that Mo3 was about to be a big hit, and the reason why Boosie even jumped on and did features with him is because Boosie from the South, and he knew that Mo3 was the next thing coming out the South. And so when he was doing that, you got to remember, Mo3 still had the old, like, friends from his old block. They felt like they got betrayed by him, because since Mo3 went and got millions, and his old friends in the hood that was standing on the corner every day, since they didn't make it like Mo3, they had a personal vengeance against him. They wanted to get revenge because it made it seem like, oh, how is Mo3 going to leave us? How is he going to do this and do that, and pretty much make it to where we had to be starving back in the hood again? And so this is why they were looking at the close people that was around Mo3 back in the hood, and that he should have basically cut ties with them a long time ago.